because we still have the really nice subject of speech fasting. And so this is called mona, and also actually quite common. Very common amongst sadhus. Actually, if you go into an ashram somewhere, the chance that at least one person there is speech fasting for a day or for a week or for a month or maybe for a few years is quite high. And even also among householders, if they can afford it, it happens. No? It happens because it is also a very, very good exercise. You learn a lot from it. And there's also a very strong purification of your thoughts and your whole mental makeup. The first thing, however, to understand is that if you are doing a mona, then it means you are no longer communicating. So people sometimes then they have a little notebook, and whenever they want to say something, they don't say it, they write it down, and then you have to read it. That's quite stupid. And my teacher always used to make fun of it if he saw somebody doing that, because he said, what's the point? Mona is to stop communicating. And even there may be some gratifications, because to smile also is a communication. To laugh also is a communication. And people also use other sounds than words for communication. Like you can say, somebody does something or brings something, and you say, that is also talking in a way. So you can actually go to a point where all that is really no longer happening. You are no longer communicating with anybody at all. No? And of course your situation has to allow it. So it's not an easy thing to do if you have to work. It's quite impossible if you have to work, in most cases. But for sadhus it's quite possible because they don't have so much responsibilities. So what is the point here? I mean, there's a number of objectives. And the first, of course, is just that you are experiencing, even if you're doing just for one day or a couple of days, how much nonsense is going on in talk. Because you are not allowed to enter into the talk. So other people, they are talking and you are just there as a witness and listening. And so then you see that. You see how much stupid things that we are continuously saying. How many of the things that we are saying are actually only said to kind of show how we are, to tell how we feel, to make people appreciate how we think. Well, actually, all the other people also are only doing that. So you are trying to make other people appreciate how you think, and they are making you appreciate how they think. But actually, there's not much talking at all, right? Even if there's a lot of words, talking is a kind of nervousness. Huh? People who are very nervous, usually they talk a lot, right? So to stop talking really reduces that, takes away that nervousness. Although, of course, it is a little bit of a process because it's also not so very easy to be in a group of people and they are talking and you are like not allowed because you made that vow to enter the game. And so this brings about a lot of experience with regard to your inner dialogue, because actually all the time we are also talking in our head. Thinking is talking, and very often our thoughts are even directed at somebody. We are talking ahead in our mind. We are thinking about what we are going to say to somebody, or maybe about what we said before, or what somebody else said, and what is the answer to it. And so we are continuously talking, or maybe we're talking to God, or talking to ourselves, or talking to somebody at least, in our mind. So then all this becomes a little bit like stupid. You feel this is stupid because you see it going on around you and you can't join it. So what is going inside you also is seen like, let's stop it. And so then the natural feeling of wanting to stop this game of mine, to want to stop this inner dialogue is very strengthened. And this is then also what happens. So mona really then leads to stop thinking, or to at least reduce thinking in a very serious way. And actually, the way that ancient scripture looks at thought and conversation is that there are 4 steps. The first step is called para. And para means that there is a kind of feeling coming inside of you, like an intuitive feeling, but you don't really know what it is. That is para. And then the second stage is where this feeling becomes known, but not yet put into words. But on a feeling level, you are understanding what you are feeling. And then the third step is that you are in your mind putting it into words. And then the fourth step is that these words are coming out somehow, maybe not always the same as they were in your mind, that's another thing. And then you are talking about it. And actually then the reverse also happened with the person who is listening to you. He is hearing you talk. Then he is repeating whatever you have said in his own mind, putting it into words in his thought. Then he's trying to grasp the essential feeling of it. And then he is going back to para to wait for the answer. So this is a little bit how communication happens. But so if you stop this game, then you are slowly, more and more retreating towards para. I mean, this takes a while, yes? This is not in one day that you will learn this, but the longer the fast takes, like there to do a fast of 40 days is quite usual. There's nothing very difficult in a way. No? You're not suffering because of it. Actually, it becomes quite enjoyable after a while. No? So then more and more you are living and thinking directly from your inner being, from the buddhi, from para. So this is having a very profound effect on your whole personality. And when you come out, you will be very different. You will definitely not talk so much, and you will more talk directly. Not first, munch over everything in your mind before saying something, like so many people do, and then they even don't say the right thing. They even don't say what they want to say. Not thinking about what you're going to say before you say it. Just letting it come out. A direct expression of your feeling. So this is a very big change that then comes, and it's actually very advisable also for artists. Because actually what artists do is also a kind of communication, but they don't really put it into words. They put it into painting, they put it into music, so they are staying more on this feeling level. No? So to become better at their art, to do a speech fast is very good. Even a poet, when he uses words, these words are not so much like concrete words. They are words with a certain symbolism, a certain meaning. They are feelings. So there, you learn a lot in your art. Your art will become a lot better. And generally speaking, you will become a much more straightforward person. With other people, you will say, it will just come out and not be, too much thought about in advance. You will obviously learn listening, which is very important. Most people, when you talk to them, they only listen with half of their attention. In the other half, they are already answering you in their mind. And then very often they don't really understand what you are saying, because they're like listening to two conversations at the same time. So really to be able to listen to somebody, because you yourself are quiet inside, that is a great gift in life, whether, even in a business level, in work, everything, whatever you do, you'll really be able to focus, really be able to listen. It will be a great help in any kind of meditation practice that you do, because basically meditation also means to stop thinking, so it means to stop talking inside. So that is very much what you are learning there. So it's a big mental cleaning. It also has a cleaning effect on the nadis and on the whole energy body because of the impact of sound. Like when we say in mantra, the sounds of the mantra have a particular harmonizing effect on the energy body. But of course it is not just the sounds of the mantra who have a particular effect on our energy body. All the sounds that we are making have an impact on our energy body. Our whole body is like a big musical instrument. And so whenever we are talking, we are continuously having an impact on this energy body, and this is quite chaotic. This is quite a chaotic impact. So what happens if we don't talk for some time, let's say a week or longer, then the energy body can be free of all this nonsense talk, sounds, effects, and become much more in harmony, and the nadis will be very much purified, the energy channels will be very much purified. So this is actually also, for example, in Kundalini Yoga, an important practice, to stop talking for a while. It's very good to help that Kundalini energy developing. Full moon and new moon are particularly good days for speech fasting. And so is the 11th day after the waning moon. That is also supposed to be a good day. Why? It's again the same story. It's a little like tantric aspect of it. But it's supposed to be very good.
11th day after?
The waning moon. So after full moon. Again here, you have to be very careful with sleep. Because the tendency to sleep more will also be there. Of course, you can't really talk to other people. It's a little depressing sometimes, you feel a little alone. So you're more withdrawn into yourself. You have nothing so much to do, so you sleep a lot. But what then happens is that you are dreaming. And since you are not allowed to talk when you are awake, then you're going to talk a lot in your dreams. So that's really wasting a lot of energy. And you should not do it. So to be very strict about how many hours you are sleeping is absolutely required when you are speech fasting. And then coming out of it also requires a little attention, especially if you have been doing it for a long time. I mean, first of all, your vocal cords really will need a little like cardamom and honey and things, because they will sound very strange in the beginning. So you should a little bit like start to talk slowly. And some people actually get so much stuck in this, like I don't talk, that you have to trick them to get out of it. That is quite common. Because obviously when you are saying, you're speech fasting, then people are going to try to make you talk, right? They're going to try to say something which so much interests you or maybe angers you or whatever, just so you start talking again. And then they can laugh at you, So you are very trained not to talk. If you're doing that for 40 days, you are very trained not to talk. So then even if people then say, well, you said it was going to be 40 days, so 40 days are finished, then I'm not hearing it, not interested, he's completely inside. So then you have to a little bit like be pulled outside. And that can take a while. So in that way, again, if you're doing very long time, have good guidance, good atmosphere, good surrounding, people with some experience with these things. Otherwise, you might stop maybe talking for the rest of your life, without that really being what you want to do. Because it will limit you in so many ways. You may still have many desires in the world to do this and that and achieve this and that and have family, children, all these things. You can't do that if you don't talk. So to have little guidance for these longer periods of speech fasting is definitely advisable.